Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another season of Theater Talk at Proctor's Theater in Schenectady. This time after the program, Anastasia. We have a large number of cast members with us. I'm going to ask each one of them to introduce themselves by their real name and then tell what part they play, and then we'll open it up to the audience for questions. So, why don't you begin?
I'm Jason Michael Evans. I play Gleb.
I'm Joy Franz, and I play the Dowager Empress.
I'm Victoria Bingham, and I play Little Anastasia.
My name's Addison Valentino, and I play Little Anastasia, understudy.
Hi, I'm Allison Ewing, and I'm in the ensemble, and I cover the Dowager and Countess Lily.
Hi, I'm Matt Roselle, and I'm in the ensemble, and I understudy Dimitri.
Hi, I'm Kenneth Michael Murray. I'm a swing for the show, and I'm also the dance captain.
Hi, my name is Claire Rathbun. I'm in the ensemble, and I play Odette in Swan Lake.
And Anastasia may show up. We'll see. Keep our fingers crossed. All right, questions. Oh, by the way, our welcome to the Mount Pleasant Middle School, who is here with us today. Glad you guys could join us and glad you guys could see the show. Okay, open for questions. Yes? Do you absolutely love your costumes? They are a little over the top.
Yes.
That's a big yes, right?
Yes.
You agree?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. Especially my black one.
Questions? Yes, in the back. Welcome. Before I ask you to repeat your question, tell us who you are and we know what part you play.
I'm Lila Coogan.
Okay. Now the question again. Is this play based on a real person?
Yes. She most certainly was a real person. She was the fourth daughter of Tsar Nicholas II and the Tsarina. The play is a fictionalized version of what may or may not have happened to her during the Russian Revolution, but she was a very, very real person, yeah.
And there were a lot of rumors after the revolution that she was somewhere in Europe, many people claiming to be Anastasia. Yeah. Question? Boy, you got, okay, good.
Tell us what it's like when you step out of the wings into the lights to be an actor.
What's it like when you step out of the wings into the lights to be an actor? Anybody act here? So.
Well, I mean, it's cool. I mean, for a lot of us in the ensemble, we play multiple different kinds of characters, and so for me, it's kind of amazing to just run backstage and have somebody rip off your clothes and slam you into a different wig, and you know, some character is proper, and then the other is kind of like scratching and has a limp, and it's really cool to be able to do that, and you know. We have so much help from all of the beautiful costumes and the makeup and the hair and the music and the scenery all around us. So that's pretty wonderful. It takes a lot of work from all the different departments to make the magic up there.
And what's it like for you?
It's pretty amazing because not most kids can act because their parents doesn't let them. And it's very good. I'm very happy that I am on this tour, and I'm very excited to tour around.
Very good. And by the way, Allison was here last year in Cabaret, so you have to have a lot of different parts. Question, yes, in the back. All right, can you explain for the kids what understudy and swing mean?
So being a swing and being an understudy, basically a swing is someone who has to know multiple parts in the show and have to go on for them at any given time or point, whether it's during a performance or whether you have notice or not. And so like she's the understudy for little Anastasia. So if Tori is sick, Addison goes on, and vice versa. If the Dimitri is out, then Matt would go on. And it's pretty awesome getting to be a swing because our job is never boring. We're constantly learning. Even as swings right now, we're still upstairs learning all of our tracks and writing our note cards and basically a little cheat sheet for us for when we go on. But I enjoy being a swing because, again, I get to be multiple characters at any given moment in time, and it always keeps me on my toes. So, yeah.
And understudy?
And an understudy is basically the same thing. It's as a swing for the ensemble, I cover 7 ensemble tracks, and an understudy is basically someone who covers one particular principal track or whatnot. So yeah, so like Matt understudies Dimitri, and there's 2 girls in the ensemble who understudy Anya, and so we have rehearsal with them. And sometimes if they have understudy rehearsal, us swings will also get to go and work on our ensemble parts, so they know what it's like to have people around them and whatnot. So.
And what about with the young people? I presume you guys don't work the same hours that these guys do.
They sure
do.
They
do? Oh, really?
They sure do, yeah. Yes.
On tech, we got out a little bit early, but sometimes we'd stay late. Very late at night, but usually we would do school if they were like taking a scene that we weren't in. That took very long, but yeah.
And this show was actually teched here. All of the technical stuff was actually. How long were you here, guys, here doing that?
We got here 2 weeks ago today.
2 weeks ago today.
2 weeks
Okay,
ago.
good. And another week in Schenectady. Wonderful. All right, questions? Yes. How long did it take you to learn the lines?
Oh, my. Repeat.
I mean, so we got the script a week before we started rehearsal, and we rehearsed in New York for about 3 weeks. Luckily, our Dimitri, Steven, he was already in the show, so he already knew all of his lines. So that kind of helped us just kind of stick with it and try to be on top of it. It's a lot of homework. It's a lot of train rides home, going through your script, mapping out your bullet points, and repeat. So that's how you kind of just make them stick. But usually when you're in it, it's pretty easy to maintain what you say.
Is it always the same words every night, or do you have kind of an idea of the conversation?
It should always be the same words every night. I don't always say the same words every night. I had a mess up today, and Jason covered it for me wonderfully.
Wonderfully, I just kept talking.
Well, it happens. People drop lines. I think every night, at least one line's going to get flubbed, and you just need to be on your feet and know what should come next if you don't say the right thing.
One of the audience members said your singing was amazing. Thank you. Yes. Do you feel emotionally connected to your characters when you're on stage?
Absolutely. 100. Well, yes, all of us do. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We certainly are. Think about who that person is and what she wants, I want from someone else, and what is your drive, who, where, what, and when. Yes, you stay in the moment, and it's very important to be in that emotional ride, and hopefully that carries out to all of you.
Question. Do any background research into the character, into the story, so that you actually know what you're dealing with?
Yeah, they had like a huge packet for us. There's like this thick of just information about Romanov history, Russian history, all that stuff. And yeah, we discussed what it was like to live in a communist country, because our director actually was around a communist country when he was a child, and he lived in one. So that was also really fascinating to learn about, and that's super important in the story, actually, in terms of finding out who your character is. And then, you know, the Romanovs, their history is wild. Like, there's so much there. It's way too much to get into right now. But in order to do these real life people justice, you should know where they come from and what their background was, yeah.
Yeah, on school one day, for 20 minutes, we were reading the packet of Romanovs, like talking about the person. We had so many questions. It ended up being an hour. We were like, oh, so what does the grandma look like? Oh, what does Anastasia look like? Like, we took like an hour just doing questions and looking at people and telling what they did.
Cool, cool. That's a wonderful education. Okay. Yes. Would you say it again, please? Just one person, please. Say it again, please. What advice do you give to aspiring performers? A couple of aspirers right there.
Dream big and never give up.
Anybody in the back? Have a
Oh,
thought?
yeah, on that, dream big and never give up, which is very true. Work hard. You're going to hear a lot more no's than yeses. A lot more. But that doesn't mean anything bad. It's just the amount of people versus one part. There's no silver medal in acting. So just work hard. Know that you're talented. Own that you're talented. You're going to go through many ups and downs, but just know that we love what we're doing, and when we finally get to perform and finally book that job, it's what we aspire to do. It's just sometimes it takes longer. And only compare yourself to yourself. Yeah. It's really hard, especially in these days with social media, but just keep figuring out how you can be better and not compare yourself to other actors, because we're all doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much it.
And I hear a lot of mm-hms from everybody back here. Yes. And you mean scenery projections? Yeah, this show had a ton of scenery projections. How much? And they were beautiful. I was really struck by that. How did you guys have to relate to that, or did you?
They're mostly behind us for most of the. I know that sounds terrible, but they're mostly behind us, so we don't really get to see them often in the show. I know for us, especially like the Yusupov Palace, the cherry blossoms, all those things, we were shown actual pictures of what the places would look like, not the projections. So that is what helps us, because most of our scenery is out in the audience and not behind us. The projections are wonderful because they give y'all like this amazing view into our world. But I think for us, most of it is knowing what's in front of us, and that's all behind.
Do you get to see the projections at all? I guess when you turn around, sneak a look.
Yeah, I mean, in tech, we got to see them because actually while we were rehearsing in New York, most of the cast hadn't seen them or knew what was going to be happening behind them until we got to tech rehearsal. So that was pretty much the first time where we were stopping and like lighting a certain scene. Some of the actors could get to turn around and see what was happening behind them. Because in rehearsal, we were just miming and we would tell them what would be happening, but tech was the first time where they got to see them.
And I have to say, just from watching a ton of shows here, these background scenes really popped. I mean, they were amazing. They were amazing. All right, student in the back, you had your hand up. Yes. Yeah. I'm sorry. The middle school question: do you guys actually kiss?
Yes.
I think we got a new theater arts major right there. I'm convinced of it. All right, there's a question way in the back there. I see an arm up. Do you ever get stage fright? And I hear a bunch of, oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
And you deal with it how?
Why do we keep getting, I'm so anxious sometimes before I go on, and I go, oh my God, what am I going to do? Well, I heard that stage fright is, do you ever get nervous? It is the respect we give to the audience. That's the way I've heard it before. So yes, we do. I do.
I think I've heard a lot of yeses all around me here, so I presume that means everyone. Yes. Your hand is up, yes. No, I'm sorry, I'll get you next, behind you. Young lady? How'd you feel when you first started acting? On top of the world or on the bottom of it?
On the bottom. Well, it was on the
Yeah,
top of the world for me, I know
Good.
that.
Good.
Well, I think the coolest thing about theater in general is that there's so many groups of people that come together from different aspects of this whole playing field. You have people who are dancers first, you have people who are singers first, you have people who are actors first, but at the root of it, we all just want to tell a story. And acting is in every minuscule piece of the performing arts and of theater, and I think that's the beauty of it. And you work every day to be able to project that to your audiences, you know, whether it's through your voice, through your dance, or through just pure drama. And we're all doing it together. So,
Amen.
yeah.
Amen. All right, there was a question there, yes.
What changes were there made from the Broadway show to become a touring company?
What changes were made from the Broadway show to become a touring company?
You can go.
No. You go.
We don't have the turntable. That's one of the things. We don't have the turntable. That's one of the things we don't have, or the side turntables, because we have to move place to place. So we have no place to put them.
So the stage itself would turn in New York. Is that what you mean by a
On the
turntable?
Broadway, there's a turntable that they don't have to move, like in the surrounding circle in the beginning. They don't have to run. They just stand there, and the table turns them. But we have to walk and do that.
Yeah, it was easier in New York. I got to do the show in New York before I jumped on the road, and one thing that was a definite change was not having those turntables. There was one in the middle and two on the sides that would help change scenery. But we're making it work, and I think it looks great, and there's a bunch of other changes that are here in the show with the touring company that I actually prefer. I don't want to give it away what the changes are, because I think they're really working, but there are some changes. But the video and everything and the costumes and lighting, it's all the same. It's very minor changes. Yeah,
One
it's
song? Okay, yeah, but obviously, since you have to move, you're in much better shape now?
Yes.
All right, yes. What's it like putting on some of those cool costumes for the first time?
It's pretty wonderful because so about 4 or so months before we started rehearsal, we just go into a costume shop and they measure every part of your body and they show you a fabric, and then you come back 3 months later and it's made to tailor you and fit you specifically. So whenever you step into something that is made specifically for your body, it's a very special feeling. But then also when you're stepping into the clothes of this other human who you're about to play for the next year, it's really exhilarating. It's hard to feel that feeling. It's hard to replicate that feeling of the person you're playing until you're wearing those actual clothes. So it's a really cool feeling.
Yeah, I guess that creates a whole different dimension to the thing. And you must feel like you're going to a prom every night. All right, I'm sorry, but we have the last question, and then these folks have got to get a bite to eat and get ready for the evening show. So, yes. Yes, ma'am. Couldn't figure out the train part. Magic.
So there's this thing that we have, it's called the turtle. And the turtle is underneath the train. So we have tracks in our deck, which is the stage, and the tracks, it knifes into the track, so it's in place always. And then they do something called engaging the turtle. And the turtle is this little rotating table that turns our train. So we thank the turtle every day for working.
Otherwise, you'd have to push it, right?
If it didn't work, we would have to improvise a little bit. But yeah,
Engaging the turtle is
thank
the
God
answer.
for the turtle. Engage the turtle.
All right, okay. All right, how about a nice round of applause for these folks? Thank you so much for taking your time to come chat with us today. Really appreciate it. Thank you all very much for your kind questions. Thank you for watching. I'm Jack Arnicke. Have yourself a wonderful day.